Hi, it's Dave Minuk. This is an extended Minuk Moose Minute. We had a conversation with Jacob Julien. He's a Jets draft pick who spent the last few years with the powerhouse London Knights, winning the championship last year. And he is ready to turn pro. And this is our conversation with him about the opportunity he has here in Winnipeg. You know, he turned pro. But before we talk about the pro, we've got to look back at that London Knights team, because that might have looked like one of the best teams I've ever seen. Like, you guys were a juggernaut. You kind of steamrolled through the playoffs. What was it like playing for the London Knights, and how that helped your development?
Yeah, it was obviously a tremendous opportunity. I think I learned so much just, being in that organization and, being coached by Dale and Mark. So to be able to do what we did, couldn't be more happy, and, couldn't be more proud of the guys.
What does that mean, though? Like, when you have guys who have played the NHL, know what it takes, helping you, mentoring you, and giving you kind of, I mean, again, you're still in junior, but giving you that sort of pro mentality at that level. So when you transition, it may be a little bit easier.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely makes it easier. Some say they're an extra team in the NHL, right? So they just run it so professionally, and they take care of us so well, and they teach us the ways of how to become a pro. They want us to have long careers, not just little short things. So to be able to learn from them and try and bring it up to pro is what I'm going to try to do.
So you knew this summer you were going to be making that transition and becoming a pro hockey player from junior. So what was your mentality heading into the summer? I know you were obviously here earlier, but then having to go home and get prepared.
Yeah, a little bit of a shorter summer, so we just tried to make everything work, right? Just tried to get work as hard as I could in the gym, on the ice, and didn't have much time. So coming into the season as prepared as I could was what I was going to try to do, and yeah, I think I did a pretty good job of it.
What was it like participating in the Memorial Cup?
Oh, it was awesome. Rimouski ran it so well. Even Saginaw ran it really well. So just to be in that atmosphere and, play under pressure, and at the end of the season, that's everyone's goal. So to be able to experience it twice, hopefully bring that attitude to pro.
And we always talk about how much can you bring into your pro career from junior, but that is an element that you'll be able to hold on to and be like, when we were in pressure situations, this is what it was like.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, the Memorial Cup is it's a huge opportunity. So to be able to get into it twice and experience 90-game seasons 2 years in a row, it's kind of going to make the transition to pro a little easier with all the extra games.
And last one in terms of the junior talk, but just as a kid from London, what did it mean to like bring a championship home and be a representative of the team from that city?
Yeah, it was awesome. You get recognized in London all the time. So even during the summers, and that's every kid's dream, right? I remember going to the 2016, just watching the game down at the Agriplex in London. So with a bunch of fans, and they brought it home. So to be able to do it, it's obviously an honor and every kid's dream.
So transitioning now, like I said, to the pro game, and you're here with the Moose right now at Moose Training Camp. What elements of your game have you worked on the most over the summer, and what do you think, if you had to describe your game to folks who might not know it, how you your style of play?
Yeah, I think I really focused on my defensive game. Stick checks, stick pokes. Whatever I can do to help the team. And my game is kind of a two-way playmaker, right? I like to play the defensive side first, but I also like to jump up in on the rush and help wherever I can.
Scott O'Neill's going to be happy to hear that, since his philosophy seems to be start with the puck defensively, and then you'll end up transitioning to offense. What's it like for you coming to a new city and having to kind of set up a whole new life? Because we tend to focus on the on-ice element of things, but that element is so significant, and it's huge at a young age to have to kind of transition to a new city, even if you're familiar, having been here for a number of years for development camps. It's a little different than being here for a year. Yeah,
absolutely. I'm really enjoying it so far. I mean, it's the first time I moved away from my parents, so I'm officially all on my own. So finding the way is going to be difficult, but up for the challenge, and just whatever I got to do to get ready for the season.
One thing about this organization, I'm talking about the Moose specifically, is how connected everybody is, and it's been like that for years. It's been like that for years, really, covering this team. And one of the things that I've always seen is that guys are always willing to help. Like, to Ty Bauer, who's been here for now entering his fourth season. He's a resource that you could use. It seems like it's not like there's an imposition that you can be like, well, I can't talk to that guy. Like, everybody seems, like they're willing to help you in whatever capacity, whether it's on the ice or off the ice. Is that kind of your feeling early on?
Yeah, absolutely. I've only been here for probably a month now, and I'm pretty open to talking to anyone, right? So and they're always welcoming, and they always give me the best answer, and whatever they can do to help. We're one team here, so we want to work together and make sure everyone's comfortable.
In terms of making the jump, I mean, we're looking at the Moose right now, and there's potential for another. I mean, obviously, still some guys who are at Jets training camp that's winding down, but they could be added to the mix. A lot of prospects this year, insulated with really good veterans, which is going to be really good, obviously, for development. But does it make it easier for you to have Braden Yager and Colby Barlow? Obviously, you're much more familiar with Colby Barlow being an OHLer, but those two guys also turning pro with you this year.
Yeah, we've definitely hung out a lot so far. We're kind of near the same age. We've played against each other a couple times, so we just get along really well. So to be able to kind of progress through to professional together it's a huge opportunity, and together we can do a lot, and just having each other by our side is it's really huge.
Is it easier to be with Braden than it is with Colby because there's less chirping from the OHL versus the WHL, or is it still kind of between leagues now? Maybe you guys unite against the WHL.
No, we've been pretty good together. I've played Colby, I've played against Braden.
Yeah.
So it's mostly just we're not as competitive anymore, but we're just good friends, and we're helping each other out.
And one thing I've often noted is you'll have guys who have different skill sets. So you talk about yourself as a two-way player, focus on the defensive end, then transition the puck up the ice. There's guys who are almost not necessarily pure offense, but that's more their mindset. And I often watch with defensemen like Villy's got different skill sets than Ty, that sort of thing. So, but one can learn from the other. Do you find in your game, as much as you're getting from the coaches, you could also be learning from other players who have different skill sets than yours, but ones that you may want to embrace and focus on?
Yeah, absolutely. Even throughout Jets camp, me, Braden, and Colby, we've been talking about things, just simple board plays or where to shoot the puck, or kind of learning from them, because obviously they're fantastic goal scorers. So just been helping each other out, and just taking advice and doing whatever we can. Well,
taking advice is always good from those guys. They're your peers. When you have the opportunity to take advice from a guy like Jonathan Toews, future Hall of Famer, guy's won 3 Stanley Cups, plays center, one of the best face-off guys you're ever going to meet. Obviously a local Winnipegger, so that makes him a fan favorite. But being on the ice with someone like that, or even a Mark Scheifele, or any of these guys, obviously not Adam Lowry, who's recovering from off-season hip surgery, but from your perspective, learning your craft, gaining things, how exciting is that for the last few weeks for you, or last month, being able to skate with these guys and pick up things from them?
Yeah, absolutely. They do it a professional way, right? They've been doing it for a long time, and they know all the little tricks. So they start doing it to you, and then you start doing it to other people. So to be able to learn from them, they're really good at what they do, obviously. So just taking soaking as much in as you can, and just trying to add it to your game.
Well, your potential pro debut is less than a week away, or about a week away. What would it mean to you to actually put on Manitoba Moose jersey and be able to make your pro, or what is the focus for you in terms of being able to make that debut, and what does it mean to you to show that your hockey journey is continuing and this is your next step in it?
Yeah, absolutely. Really excited to see if we can do that, and it's just gonna be a really cool experience, right? First professional game, you can finally say you're a professional hockey player. So I'm just gonna do whatever I can to make that, and just try to make it work.
In terms of your family, are they gonna? I mean, maybe not necessarily. You don't know, obviously, if you're playing, whatever. But when you do you anticipate they'll be? Obviously, London's not that far from Winnipeg. Do you think they'll be coming to watch your games, or is it more they'll follow it, but mostly from there?
I think they'll do a bit of both. They'll come in every once in a while, but absolutely they'll be cheering me on from home. They couldn't be more proud. They tell me that every day. So they'll be watching it, and they'll be helping me out as much as they can. And, couldn't be more grateful for them.
Great. Thanks, Jerry.
Appreciate it. Awesome.
Thanks a lot for listening. This has been an extended Minuk Moose Minute. We'll have plenty of regular-sized ones coming your way throughout the season, either on the Illegal Curve Hockey Show or the Legal Curve Postgame Show, so make sure you are subscribed to our channel.